got ourselves here a 2022 Tundra. We've got the bucket seats up here, so it's got the 2 seats, and it's got the console right here in the middle. No one can sit there. We currently do not have a cover for this lid. There wouldn't be a whole lot to hold on to anyways, and it would only really cover these 2 strips of material here. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get in on an install and get this thing done. Alright, so the first thing we're going to install is the headrest we've got right here. It's going to be the same on both sides. So what you want to do is you want to pull your seat forward so you have access to it. And we've got the cover here. Undo the Velcro. The front of the headrest cover is going to have these extending Velcros off of it. So we're going to take this and we're going to pull it over here. And then you can see it's pretty tight, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to try and saw it back and forth on there. And it just comes right down nice. I'm going to pull it down, smooth out all the edges. Okay. So then we're going to lift it up. You see these release buttons, button here. We're going to push that in, pull the headrest out. Now, once we've got the headrest out, fold these over. You can see that there's this Velcro here. So we're going to take this, fold it under, and connect them. Done. Alright, so next we're going to install the seat bottom to the seat. First, what you got to do is there's a flap that is on the underside of the seat right here. It's connected with 2 elastics that are around a metal bar on the underside. So what you want to do, pull the elastic off the bar. You see there's just a loop of elastic here. It goes around a bar, and there's 2 of those. Get the other one. There we go. So now that's up, it gives us access to the back side of the backrest and the seat bottom. So when we hook those up, those will be available. So we're going to be putting the rest of the bottom on now that it's ready. I'm going to go ahead and lean the seat back, push the seat back a little bit. Now to get your cover, just undo all the Velcro on it. You'll see these buckles, and you'll just take that and you'll toss that to the back of the seat. We'll come back to that one later. Okay. Now you'll know this is the driver bottom. It's hard to see, but there is a little DB here. That shows that this is the driver bottom. You'll see ones that say passenger bottom, so PB. And that's how you tell all your pieces. Headrest will have an H, and so on and so forth. So we're going to take this, lay it out. You'll want the Velcro sitting at the back of the seat, and you want to hit these extending ones off the sides. Okay. Now we're basically just going to form this to the seat. So we're going to take this, form it to the seat. You'll see this plastic cowling on the side. Our seat cover does go behind that, so I'm going to start by getting this front tucked up underneath behind there. Pull it in nice. And you'll see this long extended Velcro off the side. What we want to do, we want to fold that in half. Okay, makes it nice and stiff, rigid, so we can actually do things with it versus all floppy. You'll take this and you'll push it away, and you'll see this space in here. You got plenty of space to take this and just send it through. Okay. And you should see it popping out down here. Okay. I'm gonna pull it, make it tight. And as you can see, that sucked in this whole top area here. Okay. Now, on the other side, we've got this other Velcro. There's a much bigger hole on the underside for this to go into. So again, I'm just going to push this down. And there's a hole underneath the seat that I can just kind of tuck this up underneath and into. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to take this flap here. We're going to tuck it in between the seat bottom and the backrest. You'll just keep here tucking it through. It's gonna be tight, but eventually you'll get through. There we go. Okay. You can already see that kind of tightened it up right there. Okay, next we'll have these big, long Velcros. There's two of them sitting off the front. Again, we're gonna stiffen this up by folding it in half, long ways. Okay. Now it has to go underneath the seat. You'll want to go above any electronics you have, any motors, any wires that are hanging. You'll want to go above any of those. Okay. So now we're setting the Velcro from the front to the back. As you can see, there's not a whole lot here we actually have to go over on this seat. If this were an electric seat, that would have been a bit different, but this one's a manual, so manuals typically have less stuff to go over. But I'm gonna get this other one, fold it in half. Okay, so this one will go over this wire here. You can see that this wire is dangling down, so this one we want to go over. Okay, now you can see that this other one, this yellow one, isn't dangling. It's actually strapped to the seat bottom. Anything that's actually strapped and tight to the bottom, we don't have to go over. It's just stuff that's dangling down like this black wire over here. All right. So now we're going to the back side of the seat. This is why we had to lift this flap off of here, and you just hold that up and take the covers you shove through there and pull that long flap nice and tight. Make sure the whole thing's flapped. Some of it starts to curl a little bit. Okay, so that's out there now. Then I can reach under and I can grab the Velcros I just sent back. Let's see. Here's this big long one there. I'm going to take that and pull it nice and tight and connect it right there. I'm going to take the other one that I sent back, which is take the other one, pull it nice and tight. And you don't want to restrict this one wire sitting here. So we're gonna pull that down, pull this tight, and connect it there. Now, we have the Velcros that we tucked in from the sides. This is that one from the inside side that came in from the hole. I'm gonna pull it tight and connect it at an angle. And then we can reach over here and grab the other one that we had pulled down and connect it diagonally too. And make sure we go over this wire. There we go. Okay, now we'll take the buckle that we had earlier Try and get underneath here, like right down here. Okay. Now we'll take the buckle, okay, and what we're going to do is you're going to feel for a wire. So like here's one here. We're going to take it, clip it on, okay, and you'll just take that and connect it to the fuzz there. Okay. Now we see we have a little bit of excess Velcro here. So what we're going to do, one second. What we're going to do is we're going to take some scissors, pull it back, and snip them off. Be careful not to cut your wires. That would be tragic. And then there you go. So your bottom is all installed. Now we can go to the backrest and get that on there. Alright, so back over to the front, we can see that after we got everything pulled tight, the seat is, nice and it's tight, underneath the plastic, coming out to the edges of the seat, completely covering it, which is exactly what we want. Okay. Now we got to install the backrest. The backrests, obviously they'll have the DT and PT on them as well, but if you can't find those, another way to tell the difference is our label on the side. Only the driver's seat will have this label on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to see these buckles hanging off the front. We're going to go ahead and pull those off. Again, we're just going to toss them to the back like we did before, and those can sit there. Now I've got the cover here. The flap with the label on it is going to go on the back side of the seat. Okay. I'm going to open this up, pull it on, and you can move the seat forward maybe a little bit and give you a little extra room with your arm. And for those of you who are, worried about airbags and it being exposed enough for it to come out, we do use the same breakaway thread that the manufacturers do on our seat covers. So if you do get in a wreck, it'll bust through our covers as well, so you'll be safe and it'll be good. If that does happen and your truck is still salvageable, you can always send your covers back to us and we'll repair them for no cost if that happens. So. Alright, now we can see up here we've got these bulges here. That's where your headrest holes are. Now, it's very important that when you come to these ones, you got the button on one side, nothing on the other. You always do the side with the button first. If you do the other side first and you put a lot of pressure on this side, you have a chance of breaking your button, and we don't want that. So always start with your button side first, then push it over the other side. This side doesn't have a button, so it doesn't really matter what side we start on. There we go. So now it's right underneath there, and we're good to go there. So now I'm just gonna give this a little extra pull, make sure it's on there nice and tight. Okay, now we're gonna take this flap here in the front, and we're gonna, again, just like the driver bottom, tuck it underneath the backrest, in between the bottom. That's gonna be tight again, but we'll get her in there. We've got our flap here that we're tucking. Just make sure it's pulled down as much as we can get her pulled. Okay. Now you'll see that there's the loop Velcro that's sitting here. That's where these buckles are going to attach to. Okay. They're the loop, well, the Velcro on it's going to. But first, the buckle itself, if you reach up underneath here, you can see this little metal ridge here. Okay, this is what we're going to attach those buckles to. Okay, we're going to take this. There we go. Right there. And then we're going to take the cover, pull it tight, fold it upwards, and then slam it on there like that. So I'll do the same thing with this guy over here. There's a space there.
You probably don't need this side.
And, make sure we're not restricting this wire here. Okay. Pull it tight. Paste on. Alrighty, so now after you get these Velcros on, we're going to take these elastics, put them back on their hooks. So this will just fold back underneath there. And oh, there's a hook right there. Oop. Put it back on. Right there's the hook you're looking for there. Here. And there we go. Okay. Now we got this back flap here. Hook Velcro here and here. And that'll attach to the fuzz on your carpeting here. So we're going to take the corners, pull down as tight as we can. And just push those on. And then take this, keep pulling. And it wraps way underneath there. Now, depending on, if you got it on there right and got it nice and tight, you'll see some material kind of overhanging on the edge right here. So this is where we're going to use a tool that we've got. This is the Tucker tool that we've got here. It's just a dull, rounded edge. You can use a lot of different things. Butter knife, things that are dull that aren't going to cut into the cover or anything. I'm going to take this. I'm going to use this to tuck the cover behind the plastic like this, and that'll just make that look a little bit crisper. So there you go. As you can see from the front, it's nice and tight. Then we're just going to take the headrest and just put it back in there, and your passenger seat will install the exact same way. So we don't currently have a lid. Maybe a cell phone. Alright, that's it.